Hey, Jeff Brooks, Remax Orange Beach here for your monthly market update. Um, let's dive right in. Interest rates ever so slightly down from last month. I'm going to stick to my prediction that we're not going to see anything big until the end of next year, and I actually don't think that we're going to see it below 6 even through next year, which means it's fairly stable. It's predictable. Now would be a great time to buy and get in while there are choices in the market and while in the residential space, it's in that healthy growth period. Pricing, residential, very healthy, stable growth in that market. Resort or rental properties, very complicated. Definitely seek a professional. And then on the inventory, residential, we're seeing a little bit of a bump from seasonality, but that's about it. And the condo and townhome space, it's still high. 11 months of inventory, up 19 of the last 23 months. Here's your interest rate trend over the last year. You can see it's fairly stable there in the 6 to 7% range. Here is the report from Baldwin County. Please do not get too tangled up or excited about the coastal home section there being up by 66%. That was the result of a very few high value homes moving last month and a small volume of about 50 total. And also same thing on the downward trend on the central eastern shore, North Baldwin, primarily residential spaces. Again, I think that's just seasonality. On the median price trend, condos and townhomes, I think it's still moving down. I think it's got some more to go if we're going to clear that inventory. We also have the HOA fees high as a result of insurance. And then the economy has resulted in a slight reduction in total rental volume this year. I don't expect that to continue next year. But between those three items, that market has to move. And it's probably pricing that will move easier than the insurance or the amount of rentals occurring. Single family home, still very stable there, and in a moment we'll take a look and you'll see that upward trend. Inventory, you can see the condo inventory is still way up there in all of the micro markets or mid micro markets. You can probably go to an individual complex and see something a bit different, but you're going to have to use a professional realtor to find those and segment them out. On the single family home, it's up a bit. Again, that seasonality, we tend to sell more homes, through the spring, summer, early fall, and fewer in the winter. So anything that comes on the market tends to stay there a bit longer in the single family residential space. Price per square foot, which is a measure I use to help normalize the differences between the wide range in property values that we get to see what's happening. And you can see the condo and townhome trend on the price per square foot coming down, or I think so. We've had some swings there, but the overall trend appears to be down, where the residential space, the overall trend appears to be up. So what does it all mean? If you're a seller, your competition remains the new construction, and there's a lot of it in Baldwin County right now. So you either need to do a lot of work to make your house like new, or price it appropriately so that it matches what a buyer could get from the new construction people. In the rental space, if you're a seller and you can rent it and turn positive cash flow, I would still suggest doing that until overall inventory comes down some in that rental market space. If you're a buyer, take advantage of that higher inventory, both in the residential space and in the rental space. If you're a buyer in the residential, sit down, write down what's important to you, figure out what area you're going to be in. It's out there, and when you find it, act, because that market does continue to increase in value over time. The interest rates have been fairly stable, so it's predictable. So, define what you want and go get it. And yes, take advantage of the new construction incentives if the new construction offers what's on your list of what's important to you. In the rental space, if you're a buyer, there is a lot to choose from. That downward price trend, I'm coaching my buyers to be a little more aggressive on their offers these days than they typically would. Something has to change in that market for that inventory to come down. The most control that buyers and sellers have is price, because buyers and sellers don't have control over the interest rate. Buyers and sellers don't have control over the overall economy, which drives the rental volume. And buyers and sellers don't have control over the insurance cost, which is driving up the HOA fees on the condos. So the most control is in price. Take advantage of that to move those properties. That's all I've got for this month. Love to hear back from you. Have a great Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We'll talk to you in January.